What's up, everybody? This is Derek here, and welcome to another PUBG Mobile Loot Highlight Location video on Miramar, the new desert map that was introduced with the 0.5.0 global update. In this series, we've looked at locations like El Pozo, Los Leones, Hacienda, Picado Arena, the military base Campo Militar to the northeast corner, and today we're going on the opposite end of the map, Prison. This is in the southeast corner, or the southwest rather, corner of the map, and it is where you start out each game. So unlike the spawn island of Erangel, on Miramar you actually spawn in at the prison, which is a lootable location on the map with pretty decent loot, as you'll see. However, just like Campo Militar, it suffers from the same fate of being so far outside the central area of the map that you almost always have to move a significant amount of distance to get into that first circle. So here we are floating down. We jumped pretty much as soon as we could, and this is another location too that isn't always viable because the plane route very rarely allows you to jump to it. So we got lucky this time, and we were only about 2,200 meters away or so from the main prison compound. And I'm actually going to, so as this compound comes into view, we're not going to loot the entire thing in this video just because we don't have the time, honestly, with the circle, because I did still want to win this game. But what we're going to be focusing on today are the large prison in the middle of the compound, as well as the warehouses there are 3 warehouses. One of them is on the north end, and the other are to the east of the main prison. So these warehouses are where it's statistically the most likely, in my opinion, to find level 3 equipment. However, it doesn't always spawn here. So you can see I got a shotgun so far, a level 2 backpack, and we're just going to take a look around, take a look in that room. Nothing there. There's some painkillers on the ground. I'm sure I'll go ahead and grab those later, or right now. And we'll take a look at what else is there. So there is that empty room again. I'll take a look over here. We've got a Win94. That is the lever action sniper rifle that does not allow you, unfortunately, to equip any scope. So you're using the iron sights. There's a Tommy gun. Tommy gun is definitely underrated. I know, honestly, it's not as good as the UMP in many cases, however, because of the lack of attachments. However, with an extended magazine, it is pretty deadly in short to medium range. So there is a UMP9. I think we'll go ahead and swap out that lever action for that. And as you can see, this is some decent early game stuff. Mostly, there's a Kar 98K, so there is a good find. But most of the stuff so far, and a 4x scope, so right next to each other, we have a pretty sweet sniping combination. But I was grabbing the other equipment just in case I ran into some early game resistance. I didn't know if anybody was dropping here or not. This is the beta, so there are definitely even fewer real people than normal, lots of bots. But didn't want to die an early death and then miss out on the opportunity to drop here, because like I said, it's very rare that you can actually drop this close to the prison. So here's a SCAR. You can find equipment on top of those barrels. You can also find it on the picnic benches around the main prison. And this building is huge. So if you have a squad, or if you're playing solo, duos, or squads, this building has enough equipment for you. So it's massive enough that we're not going to go ahead and loot the entire thing just for time constraints, but I'm going to go and work my way around it and see what we can find regardless. So we've got some more 7.62 for that Kar 98. We also have a SCAR. We've got a 2x scope. We've got a 4x already on the Kar 98. So we've got some bandages there. There's another SCAR, so we'll go ahead and swap those around for the ammo. There's another UMP. So you can see, and I like looting the central buildings, or these central rooms of the building, because I find that they generally have the highest density of loot, whereas these prison, I don't know what you would call them, prison blocks maybe, there are 2 of those, but they tend not to have as much loot in the actual prison cells. So I like to loot the areas in between them, because that tends to have, like I said, a higher density of items to grab quickly. You can see there, sometimes there is equipment in there. There's a quick draw mag, but we are looking for an extended or an extended quick draw. So there's tactical stock. We don't have an M4 yet, so not going to go ahead and pick that up. I've got the M16, and I'm liking the M16, so I'm actually going to go up here to the 3rd floor. We'll see what we can find. Got another energy drink, another 4x scope. There's an extended mag for the AR, so that's good. We can swap out that quick draw. Some more 5.56, and you can see just so much loot here. There's an extended quick draw, so we'll go ahead and attach that now. We'll use that. Perfect. There's another M16, so we'll swap them and grab that extra ammo. Now 300 rounds of 5.56. There's a military vest. So there you go. There's some level 3 for you. We've got a level 3 vest now, level 2 helmet, level 2 backpack, and some pretty good gear. M16 with some options for optics, and a Kar 98 with a flash hider, as well as a 4x scope. So looking pretty good here, and I'm just going to run around and grab this loot because, again, on the roof the density is higher, which is nice, so it's just an easy way to run around for a couple seconds and get some pretty decent equipment. Now we're in that other prison block, and you can see the cells do have gear in them, but not too much. So there's a 4x and a vertical. We don't need them this game, but it's good to see that there is some decent stuff out here. I go out to this roof just to check if there's anything out here. I see that there isn't, and I'm having trouble vaulting through here. So what you have to do is you actually have to crouch to get through these windows. You can't vault through them, which is pretty lame. So if you crouch, you can jump through them though, and that works just as well. So it looks like another Tommy gun, some more 45, smoke grenade, and yeah, just a ton of good equipment. The biggest downfall to this location, because it's easily enough equipment for an entire squad, biggest downfall is just the location, and it's not always that easy to find a vehicle. So I've had it before where I've looted here, we've gotten amazing stuff, and then we have to like truck it up to the bridge to try to find a vehicle, and it's just not a very fun early game. So just know that going into this, if you're looting this location, there's some great gear here. You can see I have a level 3. There's not like a crazy abundance of level 3 gear. However, is level 3 gear available, and there's a lot of great mid-level gear. So you can see tons of scars, tons of UMPs, lots of, quick draws for or extendeds for the UMPs. There's a compensator for the AR. So probably should have grabbed that. I actually just missed that because I have a flash hider on there right now, and I'd rather have the compensator. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some inventory management there. But I didn't see that when I was playing, and I definitely should have grabbed that over the flash hider. But a flash hider is better than nothing. It does reduce recoil too. So yeah, there we go. We're just going to take a last look around here. You can see there's an extra level 2 helmet. There's a flash hider for an AR, another one. And I think it's time to start to move out because the zone is already closing, and I still want to show you those other warehouses to the eastern side of the compound. So you can see the building itself is pretty symmetrical. It has those like jutting out like 4 corners there where you've got some pretty decent equipment. Here are the picnic tables I talked about earlier. Definitely check those too because sometimes good gear spawns on them. And yeah, just some pretty decent stuff. So gonna take a look real quick in here, just make sure. I'm not entirely sure if this was a building I even looked at or not, or a room I even looked at or not. There's a bot for you. Just randomly popped up. Hello. And dead. So let's see what he had. Absolutely nothing. Just the energy drinks. I now have 8 of them, and that is good enough. So you can see some more loot spawned on the picnic tables outside this warehouse. And like I said earlier in this video, this is where the level 3 stuff, in my opinion, is the most likely to spawn. I've looked at there you go, there's a level 3 helmet for you. But I looked at the loot heat map and the spawn locations, and there's a cheat pad, sweet, for that Kar 98. But these are the buildings where they're definitely also worth, I know there's more loot to be found in the prison itself, and it's a great building. As you can see, we got some great gear there, but do not overlook these warehouses. And especially if you're dropping as a squad or as a duo, just send 1 or 2 people to these warehouses while the other people are cleaning out the prison. That way, if you find some extra gear, you can always share. And because, like I said, this is where some pretty decent stuff's found. Here's another Kar 98, an SKS. It's pretty crazy. So just some pretty awesome gear to be had in these warehouses. So definitely don't overlook them. So what we're going to do now is we'll go ahead and try to find a vehicle and drive into the zone, and there's a vehicle. So vehicles can be found to the east and the north of the compound. You don't always get this lucky, but if you split up, if you have multiple people, because if you work your way around the prison, you will almost always find at least one vehicle. So now I'm going to go ahead and boost up and get on with the game. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this loot location highlight video, definitely give it a thumbs up to help the channel grow. And consider subscribing if you haven't already for tons more PUBG mobile content. My name's Derek G, and I hope to see you on the battlefield soon. Or in the beta. There's another vehicle. Awesome.